Well, good morning, and here we are live in Singapore. Another beautiful day, apart from the monsoon rain that we've just had, but it's still hot, probably about 28 degrees at present. And I'd just like to tell you about an interesting fact about Singapore. I was thinking about the name Singapore, and I've done a little bit of research, and I think it goes back to about 200 years ago, where a man called Mustafa Singh was coming over from India to Australia on a boat with his crew, and unfortunately they hit a typhoon and ended up being washed up on Changi Beach, and the boat was obviously wrecked and they couldn't do much with it. And Mustafa Singh was a very wealthy man in India, and he was a tailor. And what he decided to do was he thought, well, we better set up a camp on the beach and make sure we find some food and we look after the crew as best they could and sort out their injuries, and they needed some bandages, etc. So they found some leaves that were suitable to wrap around the injuries. And Mustafa Singh thought, well, this is quite a nice island, although it was not really inhabited. They couldn't see much apart from monkeys and water monitor lizards and various other creatures. And he thought, if I'm the only person, or if we're the only people here, better find a name for it. So he, with his name being Singh, he decided, can I put the word Singh in to the name of the island, before deciding on a final name. And then he looked at one of his crew members, and he was the roughest crew member that you could ever find. His face was full of potholes, and it was horrible. He looked a real rough though, but he was a very nice man. And all these, so he thought he'd Mustafa Singh. He thought, well, he's got all these pores in his face, you know, the holes, and he thought, Singapore, and that's how Singapore, got its name, from Singapore. And he then, there's been a tailor, he thought, well, what am I going to do? Because there's nobody on the island, etc. But he thought, well, we better start to develop it. And anyway, to cut a long story short, about 15 years later, many other people had come onto the island and they'd set up homes and businesses, and he decided to set up a business tailoring, because that was his profession and he was a master tailor. So being Mustafa Singh, he set up his own shop, and it was a very small shop. It was about the size of a 7-Eleven, which is not very big. But within a few years, many more people had come over, and they'd come over from Australia, New Zealand, Japan, China, and everywhere, and the island was buzzing. So he then decided that he would open a bigger shop. So he opened a bigger shop, Mustafa's. And he decided that, he couldn't close because people were queuing all the time. So he decided that he was going to have it open for 24 hours a day. And people were coming. They were coming at 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock in the morning. And he's now a billionaire. But anyway, that's the story of how Mustafa Singh came from India to Singapore, and how Singapore got its name. So that's the end of this video, and I'm sure there will be more videos to come. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.